One of the most confusing things for new drivers is this expectation of doing a curb lane to curb lane right turn on the road test. Now this is what it would look like. So I'm going to turn right at the stop sign. So I check my mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, and I make a lane change into the curb lane. Now, of course, everyone would be saying, well, no one ever does that, which probably is true, but they should, especially for this part. You really need to be in the proper lane. So if somebody wants to go straight or turn left, they're going to be able to do that without being interfered with by me. Now, as I make the turn, I turn smoothly directly into the curb lane. And I check my mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, and make my lane change back to the driving lane. I'll try another one just up here. So as I come up, I check my mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, make my lane change into the curb lane. That must look exactly like that. Then scanning for pedestrians, I turn perfectly into the curb lane. And once I'm in the curb lane, I check my mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, and make my lane change from the curb lane back to the driving lane. And that's exactly what it must look like on the road test. Now, nobody does that. You can sit here and watch all day. You'll never see anybody actually do that. However, what they're testing is your ability to, first of all, do a proper lane change. The examiner is wondering and wants to know, can this person do a perfect lane change? Yes or no? Then, can this person do a perfect right turn? Yes or no? And then finally, can this person do a perfect lane change? Yes or no? So there's much more to it than just simply doing a right turn, which can be very confusing for people. And while it's true in residential areas, a person probably won't do this after they do their road test. A person will, in fact, do many perfect lane changes, or they'll be required to do perfect lane changes all the time when they're driving. So it's not that this is a kind of a useless thing. We all do lane changes all the time, and we all are required to do perfect right turns. Now, there is an exception to this. If there's an obstruction within half a block, then a person is perfectly fine to make a curb extension and go directly into the driving lane. However, if we're turning right, come up here, check our mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, make our lane change into the curb lane, make our turn nice and slow and controlled right along the curb, into the curb lane, check the mirrors, shoulder check, signal, shoulder check, and then continue down the road.